All right, my headline. I'm sticking with safe banking, and I'm going to stick with it till the day I die. I didn't feel like I got to dive very deeply into it yesterday, talking on a street corner. So we're going to go a little more into what took place and what good old Schumer is promising. Schumer touts bipartisan momentum behind marijuana banking bill that he plans to bring to the floor soon with more criminal justice provisions. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said the bipartisan committee vote to advance a marijuana banking bill on Wednesday underscores how much momentum we have right now, as he plans to bring the legislation to the floor soon and attach very significant criminal justice provisions. In a floor speech yesterday, Schumer said he's really proud of the bipartisan deal we produced ahead of the Safe Banking Committee markup that saw the Secure and Fair Enforcement Regulation Banking Act pass in a 14-9 vote. The next step is to bring safer banking to the floor for a vote, which I will do soon. I worked long and hard for years to get us to this point, and now the Senate is one step and one crucial step closer to helping cannabis businesses operate more efficiently, more safely, and more transparently in the states that allow cannabis to be sold. Safer Banking's bipartisan vote in the Banking Committee underscores how much momentum we have right now on cannabis banking and how important the issue is for so many business owners and communities across the country. No industry has the ability to thrive if its businesses can't access basic banking infrastructure, especially not an industry growing as quickly and one as new as the cannabis industry. The majority leader also reaffirmed his commitment to attaching criminal justice reform provisions to the legislation. While he didn't specify and said he'd talk more about that at a later time, he previously described adding measures to incentivize state level cannabis expungements and protect gun rights for marijuana consumers. Cannabis must always be the business of promoting entrepreneurs, promoting small businesses, promoting job growth. Safer banking will do that precisely in the cannabis industry. Connect cannabis businesses to resources like bank accounts and small business loans, creating a safer and more transparent environment in which they can grow. When I go to the floor, we will add very significant criminal justice provisions to the bill as well, and that is important as well. While the committee passage of the cannabis banking bill has received substantial bipartisan praise, other lawmakers have been seen critical of the revised deal, and some are questioning whether it will even make it to the House of Representatives. Excuse me. Senator Raphael Warnock, a member of the Banking Committee, filed a pair of amendments at Wednesday's meeting meant to bolster the bill's equity provisions, but they were not adopted, leading the senator to vote against the legislation as well as taking the unusual step of opposing a standard motion to allow staff to make technical and conforming amendments to get the measure in shape for the floor. Let's be clear, the Safer Banking Bill only makes life safer for the bankers and businesses, some of whom have been illegally profiting off of cannabis for years, while regular folks sit in jail cells for using or selling cannabis. Warnock said in an X post on Wednesday. Another amendment that was defeated based on a ruling that was not germane to the committee came from Senator Bill Hagerty. It would have created additional civil penalties for marijuana operators that are involved in illicit fentanyl and methamphetamine trafficking. This is a very real concern. These cartels are moving fentanyl and methamphetamine right alongside marijuana sales, and there's a loophole in this law, Hagerty said on Wednesday. I'm shocked that this committee is willing to let this go through. This is supporting fentanyl and methamphetamine sales. This is an easy fix. I'm shocked at the result here. Senator Mike Rounds, another Banking Committee member who voted against the bill, told Politico, I don't think this legislation leaves the Senate anyway. I just don't think this has legs at all. Senator John Cornyn, who opposes marijuana reform, criticized the Democratic majority for focusing on the cannabis banking measure. As Congress seeks to avoid hashtag Schumer shutdown, this is his priority. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says now is the time for Congress to pass legislation that would allow banks and credit unions to work with legal cannabis industry, he said in a post on X. But other congressional lawmakers, as well as top state officials, are expressing optimism about the bill's path forward, which they say is necessary from a financial and public safety perspective. The inability of state legalized cannabis businesses to access banking services is dangerous, according to Senator Kevin Cramer. Operating as a cash-only enterprise is perfectly fine for my grandkids' lemonade stand, but it is inadequate for an industry this controversial. Senator Jackie Rosen said that outdated federal law continues to prevent the industry from accessing fundamental services like banking and insurance, and the Safer Banking Act will help to right this wrong. Yada, yada, yada. It keeps going on and on about people trying to jump on the bandwagon, just like good old Chuck Schumer is pretending that he's been working on this issue for years. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, and what he has been, where he came up with this. Maybe he's having some senior moments like good old Mitch. Um, I do expect this to come for a vote on the Senate floor. I don't care what people say. John Cornyn is just a pain in the ass. Um, hashtag Schumer shutdown. It's coming for a vote. I think it has the legs, despite what they say. There are plenty of Republicans out there who have said they are not going to filibuster this thing and the votes to do it. As for Raphael Warnock, I have no problem with the man arguing for social equity. It'd be nice if he had said something before the other day. It's the first time he's ever spoke out against it. What I would like to see is for him to put forward his own legislation to do it. This is where Congress gets into trouble, is trying to tack a whole lot of shit onto a bill that it's not supposed to be a part of. And that's why things fail. This is Gretchen for High at 9 News.
Oh, man, Gretchen. Man, oh, man, oh, man. That's a good little synopsis of all the little action on Capitol Hill going on yesterday. Then, and I agree with you, Senator Raphael Warnock. If you're really serious about social equity, why don't you introduce some legislation in regards to maybe partner up with Cory Booker and you guys can grandstand together on social equity issues?
Well, and honestly, as much as Cory Booker annoys the hell out of me at times, I don't have as much of an issue with someone who's actually done something. Cory Booker has been advocating and working on this issue for years, unlike Chuck Schumer.
That's true.
So when he wants to stand up and criticize shit, fine. But when you're Raphael Warnock and have no cannabis businesses to answer to in your state, so you can be a jag off and fuck up a bill, that pisses me off. So the man has done nothing before on this issue. If he wants to come out and be a champion for social equity, great. We need more champions for social equity in the Senate, but actually do it where it could actually matter and help, not keep good businesses from getting access to banking that they desperately need. I don't care about who else it's going to help. I care about the small businesses that it will help.
Hell yeah, Gigi. And can I also just underline that the number one thing that especially social equity owned businesses need is safe banking. They are the ones that don't get banked. They're already underbanked because of the communities that they come from and serve. They need safe banking more than anyone. This truly serves those businesses. They are the small businesses that we speak of.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that too, Dale. That safe banking is a social equity type of issue. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, there's a vig on banking some of these businesses that is criminal. It's like trying to bank with check cashing lenders. That is what we're talking about here. That is who we are pushing these small businesses into because there is a failure to. And if you really care about tracking and tracing the money, if you really care about trafficking, then track and trace the effing money through banks. Like, this is insanity that we are intentionally pushing it into cash stuffed under your mattress and then bitching that we don't know where the money is. We are creating the problem with this policy.
Totally. We totally are. But I also have to wonder too, if this could also just be a big old setup for everybody in cannabis with all of their 280E liabilities that they owe, that as soon as they all get their bank accounts, the IRS is just going to come in and just drain them because they're owed money.
Well, the IRS is already underwater, and being shut down in a couple days ain't going to help.
Oh, I hope they get shut down. I hope the IRS is shut down.
IRS workers coming to shut down cannabis anytime soon.
Just so you know,
when it comes to people
they can do that at the computer.
About what?
They can do that at the computer. All it takes is a couple keystrokes for them to take all the money out of your bank.
Okay, clearly you don't have to deal with the IRS much. It's very difficult to talk to these people and get shit actually done because nobody's working there.
Gretchen, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you how quick they take my money in a federal rate. Yes.
Does rescheduling, like they're talking about doing, which is outside the auspices of Congress, fix safe banking?
No. What if they were to reschedule to Schedule 3, like what has been proposed, that will help in regards to 280E, but it has nothing to do with banking.
And I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't think that it's a fair trade to get Schedule 3 for 280E relief. I don't think that's a fair deal at all, because every
No,
single
there's going to
person,
be a different
yeah, every single,
mountain of regulatory problems.
well, also too,
Banks are
deal.
still not going to want to interact with cannabis businesses. It's still going to keep doors closed. Rescheduling doesn't help to fix the finance issues.
Can
Mm-hmm.
I remind us too, it's not illegal to bank legal cannabis businesses. The FDIC they didn't say you can't. They said you have to know your customer's customer. They just made it ridiculously difficult and scared the shit out of most bankers so
Mm-hmm.
that they either do it quietly when nobody's looking, and as soon as they're outed as a cannabis banker, a bank that banks cannabis, they exit all the people that are out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is a shell game of banking. The people that have the money don't have a problem finding banks, and the banks are not, they're
Yeah,
legal to bank them.
I mean, there
would
is
They're
FinCEN
just there.
guidelines that Dale's completely right. Allows all this to go down. They just don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
they can just say, for no reason at all, I don't like you and shut you down. And that
Yep,
is something that safe
that
banking
is
will
true.
stop.
That is true. I've
so
seen that
just, just
happen.
just as a follow-up question, would
Mhm.
descheduling fix safe
Yes.
banking?
It
Yes.
would fix all of it. It
Could
would
fix
fix
all of it.
280E. It would
Yes.
fix banking. It would fix research. It would fix safe
Mm-hmm.
access for veterans. It would fix safe access for patients. It would fix the taking the teeth out of the criminality of all the people that are still rotting in prison, and change that conversation. Yes.
Yes.
Descheduling is what fixes all of these things. Does it create another quagmire? Certainly. But that is the quagmire I hope to address, because as long as it is on that schedule under the DEA, we will continue to have these problems. It is a
Mm-hmm.
bureaucracy, not an agency.
Very,
Well,
very, very true.
and while, we all like to talk about descheduling, I will say descheduling is not in Washington's vocabulary. They don't understand it. They don't get the concept. They are confused between descheduling versus legalization. Truly, when people are upset that all we're getting done right now is safe banking, I say to them, this is a long game. And frankly, we need to get on the board. And cannabis isn't on the board at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, this may not be a home run, but maybe it's a double. Maybe it's a
It's a
triple.
start. It's
and
a start.
frankly, we got fucking pitchers in our lineup. We don't have any home run hitters in this fucking industry.
I
Not
am.
yet.
I'm a home
And
run
until,
hitter.
okay, bless your heart, Jason Beck.
Mm-hmm.
We truly need to put some money behind this and real efforts and make cannabis an issue that matters to Congress. And when people are getting polled and they're going to the voting polls and it's like, what matters to you? And they're talking abortion, they're talking healthcare, they're talking
Mm-hmm.
immigration. Cannabis is number 36 on their list. What we need to make Congress and voters understand is that cannabis is applicable to immigration. It is applicable to healthcare. It is applicable in all aspects of our lives. And until we can get that message across to these people and why we need to be a part of this, part of fucking society and not fucking blackballed and left up, hiding and humbled, nothing's going to get done. And it's time for people to really stand up and do something.
Facts.
EG, I'm so glad you said that. And it affects everything that is in your top 10, whatever it is, that we are robbing resources from Peter to pay Paul on prohibition. You said something really important, that descheduling is not in the vocabulary. And I know we actually teach a class on this at Oaksterdam. I think you nailed it, that descheduling, they don't understand the concept of descheduling. And what we need to do is explain, we're going to take it away from the DEA and put it with the ATF. And I feel like something like that, oh, I get that. My concern is putting the whole kit and caboodle under the FDA is not the answer.
That is definitely
and
not
so
the
maybe
answer.
we do need to start just same thing, different verbiage, so that they can wrap their brain around it. And I'm now president of your fan club.
You know who does support descheduling cannabis, Gretchen, on the Hill, is my good buddy. That's right, Matt Gaetz. That's right. Big
Well, why
supporter
the
of
fuck doesn't he
descheduling.
propose some
Yes.
legislation that actually matters and keep the government fucking running so something can get done, Jason Beck?
I'm all fine with the government getting shut down. I'm all with it. That's less money that
I
they're
know
going to
you
spend. I'm
are.
so for that.